Job was a man of great wealth and possessions, living in the land of Uz, believed to be located east of Judah, in a fertile region suitable for livestock and agriculture. He was a respected man, known for his integrity and devotion to God. The Bible describes him as blameless, upright, and God-fearing, a trait confirmed by God himself, who considered Job the most pious and righteous man of his generation. Job's family was composed of 7 sons and 3 daughters, all of whom lived harmoniously, frequently hosting gatherings and feasts at each other's homes. Job, being an attentive and loving father, deeply cared about his children's spiritual well-being. He would rise early to pray and offer sacrifices to God on their behalf, consecrating each of his children to the Lord and seeking forgiveness for any sins they might have committed. This gesture revealed how committed Job was in his faith, not only for himself, but also for his family. Job's wealth was extraordinary for his time. He owned thousands of sheep, camels, oxen yoked in pairs, and donkeys, along with countless servants to care for his possessions. With such prosperity, Job was the wealthiest man in all the East. His influence and reputation were recognized by many. Some legends even suggest that Job might have been a king, but the Bible does not confirm this, focusing instead on his wealth and his stance as a just and faithful man of God. The story takes a dramatic turn when there is a meeting between God and Satan. In this meeting, God commends Job's faithfulness and upright character. However, Satan challenges this integrity, suggesting that Job is only faithful because he has everything he desires. Satan insinuates that if Job were to lose his wealth and loved ones, he would surely curse God. God then allows Satan to test Job, with one condition: he could not take Job's life. Soon after, Job's suffering begins in a devastating way. In a single day, he receives news that all his livestock has been lost and his servants killed in a series of attacks. To deepen his sorrow, a tragedy takes the lives of his 10 children, who were gathered in a house when a strong wind caused the structure to collapse on them. The impact of these losses is profound and heartbreaking. Yet, even in the midst of such sorrow, Job does not rebel against God. He tears his clothes as a sign of mourning and falls down in worship, declaring, "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I shall return. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." If you believe that Job was blessed by God, like this video, subscribe to the channel and comment, "I believe in God's faithfulness." But Job's trial was far from over. In a second encounter with God, Satan claims that if Job were to lose his health, he would certainly curse God. God then allows Satan to afflict Job physically, but without taking his life. Soon, Job is struck with painful sores from the soles of his feet to the top of his head. It is believed that Job suffered from leprosy, ulcers covering his body, forcing him to scratch himself with broken pottery to ease the pain. In this phase of deep pain, Job's wife, tormented by seeing her husband in such a state, urges him to curse God and end his suffering. However, Job rebukes her, stating that God has the right to give and to take away, and that it is not his place to question the divine will. This exchange underscores Job's unshakable faith, as he holds onto his trust, even when everything seems to be collapsing around him. 3 friends of Job, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar, visit him to offer comfort. Initially, upon seeing Job's suffering, they cannot even speak, sitting in silence with him for 7 days and 7 nights. Eventually, they begin to speak with Job, and what was meant to be comfort soon turns into confrontation. They suggest that Job must have committed a grave sin to be experiencing such misfortune, believing that suffering is a consequence of wrongdoing. These conversations turn into lengthy debates, with Job defending his innocence and questioning why he is being subjected to such suffering. A 4th character, Elihu, intervenes, reminding Job that suffering can have a disciplinary purpose, and that humans are not capable of understanding all of God's plans. This argument points to the human limitation in grasping God's grand purposes and wisdom. Finally, God himself speaks to Job from within a whirlwind, posing a series of questions that reveal the vastness of his wisdom and sovereignty. God does not directly answer Job's questions, but by asking about the wonders of the universe, he demonstrates that his perspective far surpasses human understanding. Job then realizes his own smallness and the need to fully trust in God, acknowledging that all of God's actions are part of a greater plan, even when it defies human comprehension. God rebukes Job's 3 friends for their unwise words and instructs them to offer sacrifices. Then, as Job prays for his friends, his fortunes are restored. God blesses him with twice as much as he had before. Job receives 14,000 sheep, 6,000 camels, 1,000 pairs of oxen, and 1,000 donkeys, and he once again has 7 sons and 3 daughters. These daughters, named Jemimah, Kezia, and Keren-Happuch, are described as the most beautiful in all the land. Job lives another 140 years after these events, seeing his children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, and is greatly blessed until the end of his life. If you believe that God is capable of greatly blessing the lives of the righteous, like this video, subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends. Job's story is a powerful example of faith, patience, and the ability to endure trials without losing trust in God. Even amid extreme suffering and hardship, Job remained faithful, and in the end, his perseverance was rewarded in an extraordinary way, leaving an eternal lesson on divine faithfulness and justice. If you trust in the Lord in any circumstance, don't forget to comment below, "I believe in God's faithfulness." Thank you for watching all the way through. See you in the next video.